Civil 3D tutorial for beginners. Hi viewers, welcome to my channel Survey Got Easier. Today I'm going to be sharing with you on tutorials on how to carry out some tasks as a beginners with your Civil 3D environment. Be rest assured that when you take your time to watch through the tutorial, you will definitely learn on your own on how to use this software to carry out the tasks of what I'm going to be listing out for you. And also I'll be releasing the data that you're going to use to practice on your own. I'll release that on my video description. Stay tuned, we'll be right back now. Okay, welcome back. Now what I'm going to be sharing with you is how to import points into Civil 3D environment. That is how to bring in data into your Civil 3D environment. I'll discuss on how to create surface creation. I'll discuss on interpolation, how to carry out interpolation. I'll be discussing on how to create alignment creation, and also I'll discuss on profile creation as well as cross sections. I'll discuss on point extractions, that is how to extract points from your Civil 3D environment. Also I'll talk on spot height creation, how to create contour and true north. Now starting with point import, that is how to import points, how to bring data into Civil 3D environment. Of course, there are several ways you can bring in points into your Civil 3D environment. But before we do that, let's quickly create a new project and we do the settings, everything that is necessary for us to do. Alright, as soon as you launch your Civil 3D environment, from this place here, this is where we have the start. And if you want to create a new drawing, if you want to create a new project, you click on these plus icons. You click on the plus icons if you want to create a new project. As soon as you click on the plus icons, the next thing that is expected for you to do is to set the unit. And for you to set the unit, you can just press UN under the system. You press UN. As soon as you press UN, which is the shortcut for unit, it's going to display on the screen for you, so you'll be able to set the unit. You double click on that particular UN, so it's going to read out this page for you. You set the precisions to any decimal values you want. You can be in 2 decimal values or 3 decimal values, depends on the type of work you are doing. You know, when you're working with a bearing and distance, you know, distance is always having 2 decimal values. So in a situation like that, you can set it to 2 decimal value, but if you want it to be in 3 decimal value, you can as well leave it in 3 decimal value. Alright, that's fine. Now coming to precision and then clockwise, you click on clockwise. Under this precision, you click on these particular ones, degree, minutes, seconds, and you ensure the unit scale is in meters. There are some countries where you deal with feet, so for countries where you deal with feet, you select feet, and places that you deal with meters, you select meters. And you come to the directions icons there, you click on directions and you ensure you set this to north. Then you click OK. Come back here and click OK. Alright, that is fine. It has been set. The next thing for you to do is to save this project. You give it a name. You come to your Civil 3D icon on your left hand side at the extreme edge. You click on it, then you click on save. Alright, let me save it with tutorial. Alright, that has been saved. By the time you check this place here now, you will see it's going to change. It has changed. Alright, that's fine. Now coming to how to import points into your Civil 3D environment. Get that done. What you simply do is to click on this home icon here. And after you click on your home icon, you click on this point. You click on the point here. So you click on point creation tools. As soon as you click on that, you're going to have create points icons on the screen. Here is import points. So for you to use the import point, all you simply need to do is to click on it. You double click on it. So as soon as you click on import, you're going to have this. We have different formats. You can see under this place it says specify point file formats. Let me explain something to you under my Excel here. In order for you to understand point formats, this is data here. So this particular data now, I'm going to import it into my Civil 3D. Your data can be in Excel format. Now this data now is in a format, but what format are we having it on? This is serial number, which is 1, 2, 3, the numbers of the values, the data we are importing in. This is my nothings, and this is my easting. Why this is my what? This is my elevation, which is the height. All right. So in some cases, you might have the description that like road, drainage, street lights, streets, pegs. You know, you get all those details. Those ones are called descriptions. You might have it under your data. Now, in some cases, you might have, there might be headings under your, what? Under your data, which is, there will be, it's going to be XN, which is the serial number. This one will be nothings. This is going to be easting. And this is going to be the height, which is, this is going to be height. And this one is going to be the what? Description. Alright, so but you have to delete this title in cases whereby, in a situation whereby any data that you are having that you want to bring it into your Civil 3D is having title. You have to take note of this title. You have to bring it off. You have to remove the title, because if you should have title under your Civil 3D, if you should import this data like this into Civil 3D with title, Civil 3D is going to reject that data automatically. You won't be able to have access to that data. So, and after that, here we have, like I've explained, we have serial number, easting, nothings, height, and the descriptions, which is what? P, that's the point. These are the point number. Point P, this is easting, E, N, Z, D. That's what? P, E, N, Z, D. That is point, easting, nothings, height, and description. You can also have P. You can also have P and E Z D, and this is what? Point, nothing, easting, height, and description. You can have just easting, nothings, and what? And height, PE. You can just have easting, nothings. You can just have easting, nothings. You can have easting, nothings, height, which is the Z. You can have PENZ. These just different formats. So you have to understand the type of format that you want to bring it into your Civil 3D. I believe you are clear on the formats now. Now coming back to our Civil 3D environment, from what I just explained earlier, so you will be able to understand the type of file formats that you want to bring in. And you have to what? You have to close whatever you already have on your the data. Peradventure you launch, you already open the data on Excel or anywhere, maybe Excel or Notepad. You have to close that particular data that you want to import into Civil 3D, because if you don't close it, it's not going to run on Civil 3D. So, and that's what I just did now. I did what? I just closed it. So checking the format that we have the format as PENZ, that is point, easting, nothings, height, and descriptions. PENZ. So all I'm simply going to do is, under this specified point file format, is to select the appropriate format of data I want to import into my Civil 3D, and that's what? PENZD. Like, okay, let me quickly also share you some other things. This particular data was saved with CSV command delimited, and for you to save the data with your Excel with CSV command delimited, all you simply need to do is to click on file, you click on save as, and you come to browse, you click on browse. So under the browse now, you can see CSV command delimited. This is it here, CSV command delimited. And that's how to save a file that is having an Excel format in CSV command delimited. And that's why you've seen it here, command delimited. I believe you can see command delimited. We also have space delimited, but we are working with what? We are working with command delimited. Alright, so for you to do that, you're going to locate command delimited data format. We have space delimited and we have command delimited, but the one I'm going to be using is because it's command delimited, because the data I'm bringing in into Civil 3D environment is command delimited, and that's why I'm going to be using that. Alright, this is command delimited data, PENZ. You can see we have PNEZ, but for PENZ, this is PENZ command delimited. Then after you select this particular data format, you click on this place here, you click on this manage format. then you come back and select that particular format again, PENZ, comma delimited, and click on modify. Alright, as soon as you click on modify, now you can see default file extension, and this is where Notepad comes in. You can see .txt. If I should open this data now, this data is an EZ data. You can see we are having it as what .txt because it's a Notepad data. Sorry, this data is a Notepad data, so it's having .txt, and that's what we definitely have here, .txt. If it's a Notepad data, you set it that it's a Notepad data. You have to let the system understand that this data you're bringing in is a Notepad data. This data you're bringing in is a CSV data. That is EZ data, CSV.csv. But the one I'm using currently is CSV because I save it with CSV format. That's comma delimited, CSV comma delimited. And you click on coordinate zone transform. So you click on load, and then you select where you have your data. You come to this files of type. If it is CSV, you select your CSV. If it is a text file, and that's TST, you select the TST data that you want to bring in. And then after you select it, after you are done selecting it, you click on open. You also select, if I should change this now to TST, you see what we are going to have. You can see, because under that folder I don't have any data that is having TST file format. That's why it's not showing. But because under that folder all my data was saved with CSV command delimited, and that's why you are seeing this on the screen under the folder CSV. Everything is CSV. So any one of my choice or adventure I want to use anyone, I'll just select it. As soon as I select it, then I'll click on open, and it's going to open automatically for me. And as soon as it's open, I'll click on load, and then it's going to open. Then as soon as it's open, I'll click OK. Alright, if I should click OK now, the next thing for me to do is to come to this place here. I'll come to this place, I'll select it again, and then I'll click on open like I've done earlier on. I'll click on open. Then after I click on open, it's going to load. Then on this place here, it's going to mark it, it's going to check it in. We are going to get in there. I quickly want to share another method. I want to show you another method that you can use to achieve that, to get that done. Another method that you can use is, instead of you coming to this specified point format, since you already know your format, your data format, that the format, since you already know the data format you want to bring in into CV3D, you already know how data is arranged, you already know how it is being arranged, PENZ, EMZ, PNEZ and likes. So all you simply need to do is you click on this plus icons, add files. So as soon as you click on add files, you select it here under the file type. If it's a CSV like I've explained earlier on, you select. If it's a TST, you select, and you come to the location where you have the files of whatever you want to bring in. You select the location where you want to load the data. Alright, so you select the location where you want to load the data. So we are working with this data now. We are working with this data XYZ. So I'm going to click open. So as soon as I click on open, you can see now it has opened. Now we have it listing nothings, points, elevation and descriptions. You can see now. So all you simply need to do is to select it from here, PENZD command delimited. So you locate PENZD command delimited, and this is it. You can see it has, if you should check the screen, you can see it has highlighted it. So you select it, PENZD, then click on add point to point group. In the cases whereby you want to bring in a lot of data, it's not just a single data you want to work with, you can just come to this place and you click on this plus icon, you click on it, you click on maybe data 1, like that you get, so that you'll be able to identify your data. If you want to bring it off, you'll be able to bring it off, and it's not going to affect other data. Then as soon as you are done, you're just going to click on what? Click on OK. Alright, so the data is going to load for you on the screen, and after the data has been loaded, successfully loaded, you can come to this zoom extent. You just click on zoom extent. As soon as you click on zoom extent, automatically you have the data. Or as well, you can as well come to this place here. You just press, you can come to this your command buttons here. You press Z enter, and you press what? E enter. So we have the data now. This is the data that was just imported to the screen, and that is how to successfully import data into your Civil 3D environment. Now let me quickly share with you on how to fine-tune this data, how to make your data look more presentable. Starting with this place here, from here I can just, from here I'm going to change this to 1 in 500, because data is looking just choky, like data is just as if everything has matched on each other. So to make it look more presentable, that's why I'm doing that. Then after that, I still see some things that we can just work on to do other settings. Under these point groups here, you click on this plus sign beside the point group. You can see this is the data that we created a name for the other time. This is it here. This is it here. And if peradventure you have subsequent data that you imported in, is going to display here as well. And this is where we have all points, that is all data that was imported into the system. So coming to this place here, under the data, when I right click and click on properties, I can do any settings, how I want the data to look, how I want it to appear. We have basics. Under the point style, we have basics and lights. You can just turn off. Under the point style, if I should click on none and click on apply, you can see now, you can see those points is not longer showing, and that's how to turn off points. If you don't want point to display on your screen again, you can just turn it off. Well, let me bring it back. You can see now those points has been brought back to the system. And under this point label style, we have several point label style that you're going to tell the system to display for you. If you don't want any point style to be displayed, you just click on none and you click on apply. So you can see now the point style has been removed from the screen because it was set to none. Now if you want to display the point style to be if you want to display the point style to be only description only, we have several point formats, description only, and that's the details like road, all those things, you know, road, street lights, pegs, streets, drainage, canals, borehole, and lights. Elevation and descriptions, we have elevation and descriptions, that's the height. If you want the height to display, you can set that as well. We have elevation only, we have nothing and this thing, but I'll leave it at what? I'll leave it at points, elevation, descriptions, and I'll click on apply. So we have the point, that is each number of those particular data that was reported in, you can just select it. You can select it, and as soon as you select it, it's going to display. Alright, so there is a icon here. Under this icon, press the down buttons, blah blah blah. When you click on it, now when you click on that, it's going to display this point label style. You can do any editing, how you want the point to be displayed on the screen. You can definitely set that, the text height, the rotations, the angle, the offset, colors, and every other things. By selecting this, the text height, if I want this text height to be reduced, of course I can just set it to be 1, and I'll click on apply. You can see now it has been reduced compared to what we had before. And then I'll click OK. Now when you click on apply now and check this place, you can see the point style has been reduced. Also for the basics, when you click on, the basics is deals with the, you can see the basic deals with the points. So under this place here, if you should change this scale to, let me change this scale to 0.7, and let's see what it's going to give us. You can see it has been reduced now. When you click OK and you click on apply here, you're going to see the changes on the screen as well. And that's how you can definitely work with your data. Anytime you bring in data to Civil 3D, you can set it to any format. You can display it in any way that you are interested in. And that is how to import data into your Civil 3D environment. Now going to the next task we have on the list, and that is surface creation. For you to create surface on Civil 3D, you come to this surface here, you click on surface and you click on create surface. So when you click on create surface now, when you click on create surface, this is create surface. So under this name, you give it a name. Maybe you can just give it surface 1, name it as surface 1, and we have style, we have descriptions. You can give it description if you want to give it any descriptions so that you'll be able to identify it, but with the name you are good to go. We have style, we have different style. Under this style here, we have style and render materials. When you click on these 3 icons beside the style, it's going to bring out this page, and you click on this place here. We have a couple of style surface. We have no display, we have border only, we have contour 1 meter and 5 meter background, we have contour 1 meter and 5 meter design and likes. Whatever surface that you create for each of the folders that you imported in, each of the data that you imported in, and you use the style. If peradventure, you know, the default style that we have here now is on contour 2 meter and 10 meter background, and we have the render materials as well to be on the same thing. So, and that is for what? That is for data here. That's the surface for this data. And if you are going to import any other data into this environment, the style that you're going to be using should not be the same thing with this particular style, because if you are using the same style for this data, any changes that you want to carry out is going to reflect on the other data that you import into your system. And that is why you have to use different style for your surface, and that is why you have to use different style. So after you are done, you click on OK. You can see surface 1, you click on OK. So surface 1 was created successfully. So you come to this plus icon beside your surface, and this is the surface that was just created, surface 1. So this surface is yet to be completed because we've not add any data into the surface. So for me to add data into the surface, all I'm simply going to do is to click on the plus sign beside the surface, and I'll click on the definitions. Then under this, we have point groups and we have point files. For you to use point groups, so let me show you. To use point groups, you select it and you click on right click, you click on add. So if you should click on add now, you can see now we have data. These are the data that was imported into your Civil 3D environment. You can bring in this data to create surface automatically. That is, you want to use this data to create surface because you've imported it into your Civil 3D before. You just select it and you click on apply, and the surface will be created automatically. You click OK. And when you see now the surface, the data has been added to the surface has been created, and you've added the data into the surface. And that's why you can see on the screen we have these surface designs on the screen. And another way of getting it done is in a cases whereby I have removed the surface that was just created. So in a cases whereby I don't want to use the surface that the data that I imported into my system, into my software. I don't want to use that data, or I want to bring in the data in another way. All I'm simply going to do is to click on these point files. I'll right click and I'll click on add. So as soon as you click on add, you're going to bring in the data just like the way we import the data into the system the other time. You select it. You know, this was the data we worked with the other time, and you click open. So you select it and it's going to bring the data for you. You select the data format from this place here, and you click OK, and you're going to see on the screen we have the data. And that's the 2 ways of how to add data into your surface. Now when you right click and you click on edit surface style, under this edit surface style, you're going to have this on your display on your screen. You're going to have this as a display on your screen. Now whatever things I'm going to be doing here is going to be reflecting under this place. This particular boundary that you can see on green here, which is the border. You can see it on green. If I want to change the border of the surface to red or any color of my choice, I can definitely do that. I've changed it to red. By the time I click on apply, you can see it has been changed to red. If I want to turn it off, this is it. This is a globe visible. You can see visible here. If you should turn off this globe now and you click on apply, that is, you've turned off the border of that surface. You have the major and minor contour. You know, if I want to turn off this contour as well, the major and the minor contour, you can also turn it off. You can see the color of the major and minor contour. So let me just change the two colors so that I'll be able to identify the two color contours, the two major contours and the minor contours on the screen. So when you click on apply now, you won't see it because I've turned off the globe. By the time I turn on the two globe now and I click on apply, you can see the major contours and the minor contours. That's it on the screen. This is it on the screen. And we are still coming to that place. When we are working with contour, you're going to see that as well. We also have some other things on the screen that we can turn on. We have the water sheet, we have the slope arrow, we have the slope, elevation, directions, grid, and every other things. By the time you turn it on, you're going to see the points, triangles, all those things. When you turn it on for the surface, you're going to see everything on the screen. It's going to display for you. By the time you turn it off one after the other, you also have everything. It's going to be reflecting on the screen, and you're going to know what each of the points, each of the globe you turned on is standing for. What it simply means: directions, elevations, the watershed, we have the slope, and this is the slope here. I believe you can see those arrows. Let me turn off this watershed and see. This is the watershed. The watershed has been turned off. So this slope arrow is these arrows you can see on the screen, and this slope as well is the slope directions of those arrows. Also, we can also turn those arrows off. The slope arrows, you can turn it off. The point as well, the points, you can turn that off as well. That's that, and I'll click OK. And that is how to work with your surface. The next thing we have on the list is interpolation. And what was interpolation? Let me quickly explain with this particular data we are having on the screen. This particular area that is empty now, we don't have any data on it, but we have data within the surroundings, but we don't have any data within this space here. Now, interpolation simply means that with this previous data we are having within this range, within this environment, we can use this data to interpolate, to add and other data to this environment. That is, with this data we are having on these areas here, we can generate data through this data we already have before to these areas that is blank. And that's what interpolation simply means. That is, you are introducing points towards data you have before. You are adding more data to this. So for you to carry out interpolation on your Civil 3D environment, it's quite easy and straightforward. Of course, I'm still going to be sharing with you on working with spot height. Spot height is going to let you to use interpolation as well. You can carry out spot height with interpolation, but we've not gotten to that place. Now, for you to carry out interpolation, the next thing for us to do is to come to this point here. You click on this drop down arrow, then you click on create point interpolate, then you click on interpolate. Alright, you come to this place here, you click on surface on grid, then you click on this point creation. So under this point creation now, you can see we have a couple of things here. We have point creations, we have local coordinates, we have grid coordinate and likes, we have the geographical coordinates, we have front elevation and every other things. We have default style, we have default name, we have point identifier and other things. But for this prompt for descriptions. If you want to create the, if you want to interpolate the data manually, that is, you'll be the one to select the area where you want it to be interpolated, you click on manual. But if you want it to be automatic, you select the automatic. So I'll be using manual method to do the interpolation. I'll click on manual, then after that I'll click on this place, this grid. I'll click on it. So the next thing the system is telling us to specify a grid. The system is telling us to specify a grid base point. Alright, so I'm going to specify the grid base point. The grid base point is important for you to know the area where you want to select. If I should select this grid base point, or if I should select this place here, it's going to start the interpolation from this place, this particular point, at any interval I allocate for the interpolation. And if I should start within this area, it's going to start the interpolation within this area. Any area where I select the grid base point, that's the area where the interpolation will be starting from. So let me just select this place as my grid base point. Then it's asking for rotation. I'll leave it at 0, and the interval spacing for the grid x and y, let me use 10 meter interval, 10 meter interval for the grid of x and y. Then I press enter for the grid of x and y. So the next thing is to select the upper right locations, which is here, and you click on no. Change the size or rotations, no. Then it says what, enter a point or descriptions. So you can see that box that showed the other time, that's where it's going to start from. I'll select here and I'll press enter. Now you can see now this is where the interpolation is starting from, and then I'll press enter for the next point. At every 30 meter interval, that's where the interpolation is taking place. At every 30 meter interval, the interpolation is taking place. You can see the screen. At every 30 meter interval, the interpolation will take place. You can see that on the screen. You can see the interpolation now on the screen. The spacing that was shows as the grid spacing the other time on the box is where the interpolation is taking place. You can see the screen. I believe you can see the interpolation, and there are other ways you can carry out your interpolation. This method I'm sharing with you, you can export this data as CSV, just like the way we import the data into CV3D. You can also export it out. When we get to spotlight creation, you also see other ways to carry out interpolation. So, and that is how to carry out interpolation using this method. And the next thing we have on the list is alignment creation. Alright, I'm going to be using this data to create my root alignments. Now, creating alignments on CV3D, this data has been imported into your CV3D. Alright, the next thing for you to do is to use your polyline to join the points together. Alright, to do that, all you simply need to do is to press PL. PL is the short form of polyline. This is it here. You click on it and you select the starting point. So I'm going to be starting from here. I'm going to turn on my O snap. So starting from this place, I'll select Alright, then I'll press enter. This point has been joined together with polyline. So this is where we're going to be creating our alignment on. Alright, the next thing for me to do is to click on this alignment. So I'll be working with this create alignment from object. I'll click on that. I'll select this polyline. I'll click on it. Under this page that says select lines, or hack or polylines to create alignments. I'm going to press enter. Now what this arrow simply means, this arrow that you can see here, what it means is that it's going to start its stations from this point to this point. But in the cases whereby you don't want the system, the software to start the stations from here to here, that is from up here to the exam part, that this place will be 0, 5, 10, 15, like that to this place. If you want it to start from this down part, all you simply need to do is, you can see it has stated it here for you. Press enter to accept alignment direction or reverse. If you should click on reverse, that is, it's going to start from this place to up here. And so I'll be using this particular pattern, this arrow selections. I'll press enter because I'm satisfied with the way it is. So now you can just give your alignment a name. I'll name it as road, and under this general we have general propose. Yes, is a propose. If it is an existing road, you click on existing. If you want to create an offset, you click offset, and those other things. Sets. I use major and minor labor. Add curve between tangents. Use radius of 200. You can change it, and subsequently you can change it anytime, even after you've done with the alignment creations. You can change it later in the day, and you click OK. Alright, so you can see now, like I've said earlier on, starting from this place, 0, 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120, 40, 140, 160, 180, 198. So the total width of the road is, the total length of the road is 198 meters. Alright, that's fine. Now these particular chain edges, let me quickly show you on how to edit your chain edges, how to edit your alignments. Now when you check this, now when you click on that, you click on it and you right click on edit alignment style. Yeah, you can change the alignment color. Let me move this towards this side. You can change the alignment color to any color of your choice. Then you click on what? You click on apply. You can see it has been changed from green to red. We have the curve, the spiral. You can turn them on and off by on this globe. If you don't want the spiral to show, the curve, all those things, line extension and lights, if you don't want it to come up, you can just turn off the globe, and after you're done, you click on apply. And that's how to work with the alignment, the lines itself. Now working with the text and other things. Now if you want to work with the text, you can just press ST. When you press ST, tell star, you select LT, and the text style is going to come up. So the text style you can select any text style of your choice. Let me use Family Romance. Then you click on apply. You can see the text height on the screen now has been changed automatically. Doing other settings with the alignment, when I select this, I'm going to right click and then I'll click on edit alignment labels. Now this is good. Coming to this place here, we can edit the alignment labels. We have label styles. We have different label styles. We have perpendicular with tick. We have parallel with ticks. We have, well, let me use parallel with tick and let's see what we're going to have. So let me first delete this that was there, the one that was there that we have initially. Now we have major stations parallel with tick. So the interval is correct, was on 20 meters. So if you want to change it to like 25-meter interval, you can do that, which you are good to go. And after you're done with that, you can come to this place here. You come to this place, you click on that box, and under this place you select the test height that you want. If this test height is small, you can use a bigger test height, like maybe 5 for the test height. So let's use like 3, and the rotation maybe 180, 90. So now 90. Then these offsets, now you can change the offsets. Top center, you can see top center, anyhow you want it to be displayed. Top right, anyhow you want it to be displayed. You really want to select that. Middle left, this one is okay. You can also play with the offset. You can play with the offset how you want it to move, which is okay. Also the background color, the color, let me use other colors. Okay, let me click on apply. So let's see what we have. Then click OK, you click apply, you click OK. Alright, so that is that on that. Now you can see now the tests, you can either edit in both ways, using the ST method and using the other method I use, that's edit label style. Now you can see now it's currently on 25-meter interval. That was what we just changed down to 25-meter interval. You can also change this radius and curve. You can change the color, or you can turn it in or turn it off if you like. And that is how to create alignment on Civil 3D. Alright, the next thing we have on the list is how to create profile. Now for you to create a profile, you must have created an alignment. You must have created a surface and alignment. So from the alignments that you create, you'll be able to create your profile. Now because we've created a surface, we've created an alignment, the next thing is for us to create a profile. Now for me to create a profile, all I'm simply going to do is to click on this profile. So you click on create surface profile, and then you select the surface that was created. The surface that was created, that's what you select, which is what surface 1 that we created at first during the time I was sharing with you on how to create a surface. So you select that because that's the surface of the data that we are working with. So you select that particular surface and you click on what? You click on add. And the alignment that we created was what? This is it under our alignment. You know, we named the alignment to be road. When we created the alignment, we named it as road. So this is it. If you have several alignments on the screen that you are working with, maybe you are designing a different type of road sections, you might have different roads. So you be the one to select the road that you want to work with. And you can see here that says alignment starts and end. If you want to generate a profile for a specified place, region, you can just start on a particular place where you inform the system to create profile from, start from so place, end at so place, and to sample as well from so and end at so. Now this is the profile that we selected, the surface that we selected, and you click on draw in profile view. Alright, so we're going to have this, and we click on next. Alright, so this is automatic, but if you want to specify these areas, you just click on specify range. But we want to work with the automatic, so we click on next. We click on next, and we click on create profile view. Alright, so the system is telling you to select the place where you want the profile to be created, so I'll put it here. So now this is the profile. We've created the profile on the screen. You can see road profile. That was the name we used for creating the profile. Now on our advanced class, I'll be discussing further on how you can work further with a profile creation. So for now, we're going to stop on this particular note. But before we stop, let me quickly show you on how to edit. Alright, so you can see this is the name of the road, of the alignment. You can see road. Now you can change this particular road profile stage. You can change the what? You can change the settings, the stations interval from 20 meters to 25 meters, as we've done for the alignment as well. You just select and you right click. So you click on edit profile view style. So you come to this place, you click on this, you click on horizontal axis, so you change this to 25. It's currently on 20, you change it to 25 and you click on apply. So you click OK. I believe you can see now it has been changed from 20 meters interval to 25. You can see 0, 25, 50. Also, you can also change the grid that you have by selecting it, and you click on edit profile view style. Edit profile view style. So you come to this, you click on grid, you click on this clip vertical grid and this clip horizontal grid, click this, click on apply. You can see what we have. On our advanced class, I'm going to be going deeper into these sections where you edit your profile properly, but for now we can just leave it for now like this. Alright, so and that is how to create profile using your using your Civil 3D software to create profile. Before we go to cross sections now, which is the next on the list, let me quickly add something to this alignment, which is offset. So with this alignment now, if you want to add an offset to your alignment, all you simply going to do is to come to this alignment. Here you click on the alignment, then click on create offset alignment. Alright, so you select what it says, select an alignment or press enter key to select from list. So we already have this as a single alignment, but if you have a group of alignments, when you press enter, you'll be able to select the one you have. When I press enter now, you see it's going to show the alignment road that we created the other time. Peradventure, we have multiple alignment that was created. You're going to see it listed out on the system. So you just select the one you want to create an offset for. That's fine. So you click OK, and as soon as you click OK, you're going to have this on the screen. So you can see alignment to offset. That is, it's telling you this is the road where you want to create alignment, which we save as 0 the other time. Now we have from start, we have to end area where you want to select the alignment, the offset to be created, if need be, and we have what number of offsets to the left, number of offsets to the right. So this offset now you can create 2 offset, 3, 1 and likes, anyhow you want it to be, but I'll leave it on 1 offset to both sides, the left and right. And this is the increment offset. This is the I'm going to select 2.5 for my distance of the distance offset of the distance. I'm going to select 2.5 for the offset increment. Now under this alignment label set, I will be selecting no label. You know, the other time when we created an alignment, we used major and minor only, but here I'll be using no label because I don't want the system to label the offset that we're going to create. And I'll click OK. Now you can see now the offset has been created successfully. Now coming back to the cross sections that we want to create, like I said, you have to have an alignment for you to create a cross section. Now when you click in order for you to create a cross sections, all you simply need to do is to click on sample line. Alright, so as soon as you click on sample line, it says select an alignment or press enter to select from the list. We press enter. Oh yeah, select for us. Let's see what you're going to select. Now you can see now it has given us the offset that we created. Is it the offset that we created that wants to create a cross section for, or is it from the center line? So I'll be using the center line as the offset to generate my offset. So I'll click on this road. You know, the road was named with the center line. Then I'll click OK. Now we have this as the name, SL collections. Let me name this as SPL. Then alignment as road. So this is sample line label style. I'm going to select none that I don't want it to display. Then I'll select this and click OK. Now you're going to have this now. Under this, here we have by range of station, we have at a station, pick points on screen. So by range of stations now, when you click on by range of station, we have this is going to come up. Under by range of station now, we can create the sample line. When you click on this by range of stations, so we have, let me expand this. We have left field is 5, the right is also 5. Here we have the increment and long tangents, which is what, 25 at every 25. Then I click OK. Then when I'm done, I'll click on close. Alright, so we've created the sample line. The next thing for us to do is to create the sample view. Alright, so this is the sample view here. We click on it, you click on create multiple views, and then you select the stations range that you want to create sample views for. You click on, you can see this is the automatic. If you want to specify, you click on specify. Then you click on next, then create sample view. Alright, so you select the place where you want the sample views to be created. Now this is the sample view. Now we now have the sample view on the screen. Now on the advanced class, I'll be touching on how to edit your sample views with your profile. And the next thing we have on the list is point extractions. So for you to extract points on Civil 3D, peradventure in the cases whereby you already have point on Civil 3D, you want to export point out of your Civil 3D, like the interpolations points that we generated the other time within this case space here. So you want to export out those points. All you simply need to do is to select the point that you want to export out. So I'll select this range points here. I'll select this point, and all I'll simply need to do is to right click and I'll click on edit points. So under this edit point, I'll press Ctrl A. So I'll right click and I'll click on export points. So under export points now, we have point formats. You can select the format of the points that you want to export. We have different formats, like I've put it through on this format that we have PNZD and likes. You select it, and then you select the location where you want the point to be exported to. You select the location which you have here, this destination folder, and after you select, you click OK. So after I click OK, you give it a name and it will be exported to the location where you have, where you select. And that is how to export points from AutoCAD Civil 3D. For now, we're going to be stopping here. On our next video upload, I will continue right from where we stopped. Don't forget, I'm going to be dropping this data that we use to carry out this exercise on my video description for those of you who might need it for practice. I believe with this explanation, you should be able to sit on your own and to get this done. And if you are having any issues, if you are having any questions, you can always reach us through our mails. On our video about, you get information on how to reach us on how to communicate with us. You see links to join our groups and likes. And if you found this video helpful, do well to subscribe to my channel, like my video, comment and share. Also, don't forget to turn on your notification bells to be updated whenever we upload videos on our channel. Thank you.